And good morning, everybody. This is GGFan bringing you the game of the day, and what a treat we have this time. I was challenged by Bohrier. This was an open challenge. I happily obliged. Bohrier has been around for quite a bit. He plays Gen 1 at a decent level. He's also proficient in GSC, Advanced, and Black and White. He's been around. He's quite involved. Me, not so much these days. I experiment with anomalies on the ladder. I was more involved last year. I played Shane a lot in friendlies, and I played on ladder more actively. But yeah, I'm getting back into it, and I was very interested in playing Bohrier. We've coexisted in tournaments, like when I had that brief comeback in 2024. We were in the same tours, but we didn't cross paths. So this was a chance to play another modern talent. I find his name quite funny, Retired Bohrier. I'm pretty sure I'm twice his age, or close to it. He claims to be retired. Here I am, almost a quarter of a century later, still playing Gen 1. So, quite funny there. Alright, well, let's get this underway. I'm excited to go over this game. So he leads Gengar, I lead Jinx, hoping for a Hypnosis miss. Instead, he decides to kill the Jinx. So it's already 5-5. He sends an Executor. I had a decent hunch it'd be Executor. I considered bringing in Articuno. I'm sorry, I neglected to point out. I was using Elemental Assault for this game. I talked about Elemental Assault yesterday. When I played that person on the ladder who ran the team with Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres, it reminded me of a team I ran on ladder a few years ago every now and then that I called Elemental Assault. So I decided to bring this team into the game. The high-octane offense piqued my interest. I erroneously claimed that when I ran Elemental Assault that I didn't lead Jinx and that I most certainly had Chansey. I was wrong. And not only did I have Jinx as the lead, but I didn't have Chansey. Instead I had Snorlax. So this team consists of Jinx, Tauros, Snorlax, and the 3 elemental birds. I was way off. This is a high-octane offensive team. Very little defense. The only Pokemon that could reliably take an attack is Snorlax. Everything else is pretty frail. So I send in Zapdos, hoping for a Sleep Powder miss or a Drill Peck critical hit. I get a high roll, but Sleep Powder doesn't miss. I stay in, try to wake up. I don't. I go to my own Snorlax. I land the counter. It does okay damage. Now, I designed this team for the ladder. When I play on ladder, I often have counter Snorlax, which threw Bohrier off guard. Bohrier told me after the game that he was expecting me to run Reflect. Reflect is ubiquitous in modern RBY. Most Snorlaxen have Reflect. I had counter. This was a copy-paste of an old team that I ran a few years ago. So I do land the counter. And now I'm hoping to win the speed tie and blow up on the opposing Snorlax. Because my Snorlax doesn't have Reflect. This is an offensive set of Body Slam, Counter, Earthquake, and Self-Destruct. So I do in fact win the speed tie. Down goes Snorlax. Sends back an Executor. 48%. It's very likely that Hyper Beam will kill it. Unfortunately, it's a low roll. I get boomed on. In comes Tauros. That's it. I'm a sitting duck. Have to recharge. Down I go. I'm definitely behind. I've got Sleeping Zapdos, Articuno, and Moltres. I decide to send in Moltres. because I want to save Articuno for the end, get the lucky freeze at the end, and I can knock out this Tauros in one hit with the lucky Fire Blast critical hit. Actually, all I'm really hoping for is to burn it. If I can at least burn it, I'll consider this a good exchange. Instead, the Tauros goes for Blizzard. I feel like that was a bit of a misplay on Bohrier's side. I would have gone for Body Slam. 30% chance of paralysis. And if he paralyzed the Moltres, that would have really debilitated it. But instead he goes for Blizzard, gets the unlucky miss, and I get the critical hit. So that was a very lucky exchange. I'm back in the game. In comes Alakazam. I'm hoping for a Fire Blast crit. Fire Blast crit will do something like 85%. It does a massive amount of damage. Big critical hit Psychic, unfortunately, and the special drop. So we're going back and forth with the luck. Fire Blast lands, and I retaliate with a burn. This actually really comes in handy, because what I can do now is pivot into Zapdos, pivot back and forth. Well, I'm not going to pivot back and forth. I'll just pivot into Zapdos and wear down the Alakazam. So Alakazam takes burn damage. Unlucky special drop. This turns Psychic into a 3-KO. It will die in 3 hits. More burn damage. Zapdos stays asleep. Down Zapdos goes. So now, this is a bit of a mind game. After burn damage on this turn, Alakazam will be in Hyper Beam range. So if he recovers, if he anticipates the Hyper Beam and recovers, a sitting duck. Or in this case, a sitting flaming bird. But if he uses Psychic, I can kill it. He goes for Psychic, hopes for the critical hit, doesn't get it. Burn takes it down to just 55%, and down Alakazam goes. And the last is Cloyster. So a very winnable game for me. I send in Articuno. I can't do much, but what I can do is wear down the Cloyster a bit, make Moltres' job easier. The Blizzard crit was unfortunate. I go for Hyper Beam, hope for a critical hit. I don't get it. Down goes Articuno. So now I need Fire Spin to hit. It's not the most accurate move in the world. It's only 70% accurate. Luckily, I don't miss. And I need to use it one more time. It was only a 2-turn Fire Spin. But I don't miss. And now the game is all but over unless I miss Fire Blast. I don't miss. Moltres cleans up. I win with nothing but Moltres at 15%. A wild game. Came down to the wire. Brought a very unorthodox team into the fray. Managed to barely come out on top. This was a fun game to play. Thank you, Bohrier, for setting this up. I really enjoyed it. And I hope you enjoyed it as well. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.